We find ourselves today at a crossroads regarding the fate of refugees on Nauru and in Papua New Guinea. And we have two paths to take. The first path takes us back to the dark days, the days that saw 12 people die on Manus and Nauru and Christmas Island, the path where I met a man when I was on Manus Island in November 2017, bedridden with epilepsy and schizophrenia. That same man just months later threw himself out of a moving car to his death. We have a path that takes us back to what we saw before, where we had to go to court for children that had gone mute, had stopped eating, sleeping and talking, and were close to death's door. We have a path that leaves people year upon year in medical neglect, where they die from things as simple as a foot infection. We have a path that will lead to more deaths, and that is an absolute fact if Medevac is repealed by the Senate. And we have another path to take, the one that we have already embarked on, one that is saving lives, saving organs, saving limbs, and giving these desperate, vulnerable people a last modicum of hope that they will get the medical care that they deserve. Any attempt to repeal Medevac would be done so on a bed of lies, dishonesty and distortion that has been fed by the minister in regards to how it is working. Let us speak plainly and let us speak on the facts. 136 people have been approved for Medevac. You know this. 94% of all people approved have been approved by the minister himself. And yet we are told that this process has no credibility and integrity, and yet the minister himself agrees in almost all cases. 83% of all people approved for Medevac in applications received have been approved by the minister himself. 88% of all cases submitted for Medevac have been approved. The minister has not once refused anyone on security grounds. In fact, there is no one that has been refused on security grounds. That is a fact. We are told that the independent health panel is something not to be trusted, and yet in 70% of cases, the health panel actually sides with the minister. In only 5% of cases has the health panel be responsible for the approval of someone being medically transferred to Australia for medical care. So we have a piece of legislation that the minister agrees with in almost all circumstances, that has raised no security concerns, that is saving lives, that is saving organs, that is saving limbs. We have a population where 97% of them have serious physical health issues, where 91% of them have serious psychiatric issues, where on average they have 4.6 different medical conditions each, where in Nauru, in a sample over 3 months, there were 25 presentations by people for medical care and over 50% rehospitalisation rate. I think in Australia it's something like 4% in this country. We have a medical crisis that is finally being solved. We have the minister lying and telling us that this is a backdoor, both in terms of placing us at risk and a backdoor in keeping people here, when in reality the minister knows these people are transitory persons with no legal right to remain here. And the fact is, the minister could remove anyone that he so deems fit tomorrow. We are told that this process opens us up to unnecessary risks, and yet the minister has the power under the ASIO Act of 1979 to refuse people of such concern, the power to refuse people convicted of serious criminal offences, and should someone charged with a criminal offence be brought here, as which we constantly keep hearing about, these people would be held under residence determinations under lock and key for the entire duration of their time here. Thus, they would never step forward into the Australian community, and the minister knows this. So we are being misled.
Sorry, Mr. Karapanagiotidis.
Yes.
We're over time for your introductory statement, but you're welcome to
come back to these points. Thank you.
You're welcome to hand up anything you'd like for us to have on the record.
Speaking without notes.
I don't need notes.
I agree. He was doing quite a good job, wasn't he?
I respect the time limits. Thank you, Senator.
I beg your pardon.